you guys ready for day 25? I'm not, and you'll see why.
What's up, guys? I am Michael McInerney, and this is Leo the Hiking Dog. For the last year, we have been planning and preparing for this through hike of the Appalachian Trail. Thank you for joining our adventure. If you are enjoying the journey, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We would be super thankful.
You here for breakfast? Yes. So come on over and grab yourself a drink.
All right, last morning here at the Mountain Harbor Inn. We're going to have breakfast, and then it's back to trail.
This way, y'all. Get in line over here.
We are back on trail. Wife just dropped me off at Indian Grave Gap, and the plan is to try to get 15 miles done today. We are off to a super late start, so we're going to see how we do. And I'm also not feeling the greatest. I woke up with a little bit of a little body ache this morning, so not quite sure what that's about, but I took some ibuprofen, and hopefully it works itself out as I get moving. But our stay at the Mount Harbor bed and breakfast was absolutely fantastic. So happy to be able to see my son, get to spend a couple days just kind of hanging out and relaxing. But now it's back to get these miles in. Leo is excited, ready to be back on trail. We got his new backpack all outfitted up. So, and we both got 3 to 4 days worth of food. Come on, let's go. And all right, we're gonna just get this day started, get these miles in. All right, we're still in the midst of our first little climb of the day. But we got a beautiful view over here. Missed those yesterday. But I got to hang out with my son and my wife. So that was even better. Feeling a little bit better now. Then I'm moving. It took a little bit of ibuprofen, so I think that also kicked in. We're gonna push through it though. We'll push through it today. Get these miles in. All right, we're coming to the top of this big bald. It's called Beauty Spot. It's kind of like a max patch, but not as big. But they call it Beauty Spot because you can imagine camping right here, looking out at that right there. Ooh, that's a high mountain way over there in the distance. It might be rolling. It might be one we have to climb. But yeah, so this is Beauty Spot. It's not as windy as Max Patch was. A little bit more cloudy today than it's supposed to be, according to the forecast at least. Looks like there's some more camping up here. Some big old exposed pastures and fields up here. They call them balds, and there's no trees. It's just a big open grass area, but they're beautiful for the views. You can see all the way over there. another little fire pit right here if you wanted to camp up top of this thing. I think it'd be a little bit windy. I don't know if I'd want to camp on one of these balls, but imagine the sunrises and the sunsets would be absolutely beautiful. Look at that over there. 360-degree views. Alright, it's getting a little chilly up here. Let's get down off this thing. Alright, talk to you guys a little bit about where I'm at. I think we finish North Carolina soon. Tennessee's not that long, and then we'll be in Virginia. Damascus by Saturday is what I'm hoping for. And then Virginia is the longest stretch of the trail. So we're going to be in Virginia for a very long time. So you just kind of have to buckle down and look for bright points, the places that you'll be in Virginia, and milestones as far as Virginia goes, because it's 550 miles. So it's probably going to be a good 5 weeks in Virginia. But where I'm at physically, I mean, I said I wasn't feeling too good this morning. A little body ache is what it was. I took some ibuprofen. I think I'm feeling pretty good now. Not feeling too bad. Still moving at a good pace. But I've had no major issues out here hiking so far with my body. So my body has been holding up very, very well. Lost a little bit of weight, but I got a little, be honest with you, got a little fluffy before I got out here. I put on an extra 10 pounds because I was just went on a sugar binge and was eating pretty much everything, because I was like, I'm going to go out on trail, so I'm going to wind up losing it anyway. The problem is I tried to save all that weight in my backpack, and then I added it to my body. So when I first got started, even though I was making good miles, I was carrying an extra 10 pounds up every one of those mountains and hills. But the trails got me back in shape. I'm back down to my 215 pounds is what I normally walk around at. So the blisters on the toes, that was within the first, 5-6 days. I haven't had any issues, any feet issues since. The blisters were not a shoe problem. It was the way my toes are turned in from jiu-jitsu. They've always caused that type of a rub, and so anytime I go on a hiking trip, I kind of get those, and then once they callus over and I tape them up, they're good to go, and they really don't get back to giving me any type of issues. Your feet get sore out here, especially putting in these long days. So the shoes that I wore, I started with, I put 350 miles on those shoes, and being, like I said, being a bigger guy, I beat those shoes to death. And so Topo has sent me a new pair of Topo Pursuit 2s. They are not available for purchase yet, but they wanted to get my feedback on them and let them know, because I loved my Pursuits so much, let them know how I enjoy these Pursuit 2s. So the Traverses are going home with my wife. Those things are done. I think I kind of beat those things up. I do have another pair of Traverses that I will change into after these Pursuit 2s, but I want to see how many miles I can get out of these guys before I have to make another shoe change. Shoe changes are normal out here. You can try to stretch your feet out and try to stretch your shoes out for a longer period of time, but your feet are important out here. So I think that making a shoe change when it's needed and necessary, you should do it sooner rather than later. Don't try to get an extra 100 miles out of a pair of shoes that are beating up your feet or are giving you no more support. So that's just my recommendation. So that's how I'm doing physically. Knees, back, everything else is good. I get a little soreness in my neck from looking down all day towards the end of the day typically, but I think that's just just bad posture, because you're looking where you step all the time. So I try to hold my head up when I can and try to have good posture when I can, when it's not necessary or I'm not in a rocky section. All right. Well, that is kind of an update as to where I'm at. leaving my wife and my son today. It's never fun. And I will get to see her again. She's going to come up several times and visit, so that's going to be awesome. We are finishing up the climb to Unica Mountain, just about at the summit of it. Once we get up there, we're going to take a little snack break, a little off our feet break. We're almost there. Almost there. Been climbing all morning. But we're gonna take a little break here when we get to the top. Short break. Had a big breakfast this morning, so but I still got all this breakfast food that I had packed, so I'm gonna try to eat it even though I'm not hungry. The Mountain Harbor bed and breakfast fills you up. However, I have to eat a lot of calories, so I kind of force myself to eat even when I'm not hungry because I know I'm burning calories. And also Leo needs a little snack, and then we're going to stop for lunch after we climb down to the next shelter. So we're going to take this little break, and then we're going to get back on track. Alright, we are 8.5 miles into the day. We're coming up on what's called Cherry Gap Shelter. That's where we're going to take our lunch break. I'm not real hungry, so I'm probably still going to just eat my snack bars. But I always take a lunch break because Leo doesn't like eating breakfast. He'll eat some snacks while we're out here, but he won't. If I put food in his bowl, he doesn't eat breakfast in the morning, but he'll eat lunch. So we stop at lunch and give him a bowl of food, and we'll wait for him to eat, and we'll relax a little bit, maybe find a spot to take care of some business. There are no more privies out here. So I don't know if that's like for the rest of the trail, but I was told from that no business shelter on, there's no more privies. So I don't know what the deal is with that. All right, anyway, we're coming up on the shelter. I'll show it to you guys, and we're gonna take a break. All right, this is the Cherry Gap Shelter. It is a low shelter. It would sleep 6, but you can see that that beam is right at your head. Little shelter. I mean, all these shelters have been like brick wall shelters here lately. Interesting. I mean, that blocks the wind really well. But again, they got a graffiti board. They started putting these on these shelters, I guess, to keep people from writing on the walls, because they have to repaint them all the time. But again, no more privies. All right, we're gonna take our break, and then we're gonna get back on trail. All right, Leo in Cherry Gap Shelter. Leo had his lunch break, and didn't stay very long. We only have 6.5 miles to where we're going to camp at tonight, and it's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time sitting because I don't like rolling into camp super late and get everything set up. I got to get the tent set up and sleep system set up. Since we're not going to a shelter today, it's going to take a little bit more time. But it's a little bit chillier today than it has been. I mean, even though it says 51 right now, there's just a little bit more of a chill in the air. It seems like that's the reason why I have my second layer on and I'm not just hiking in my t-shirt. Normally I just would be hiking t-shirt wise, but it just seems a little chilly. Or maybe it has something to do with me not feeling well. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna push through it. All right, we're gonna get these miles in, show you guys some more of the trail. Alright, we're just passing through Iron Mountain Gap. It leaves us 3.4 miles to go. To be honest with you guys, I don't feel it. I think whatever it was is kind of still setting in. But we're gonna push through it. 3.5 miles. It's I don't know what the time it is right now. Oh, let me see. 3:30. 3.4 miles. 3:30 in the afternoon. That means I'm probably gonna roll in there around 5 o'clock. And I'll still have to get everything set up. And I'm gonna climb in my tent and I'm gonna zonk out. Take some more ibuprofen probably. Alright guys. And I pray this is just a little thing. It doesn't turn into anything extended as far as not feeling good goes. Maybe a good night rest in the woods will get me back on point. Alright, let's get these last 3 miles in and get camp set up. I guess it's just going to be one of those days. I'm walking up the hill out of that gap and I heard something like pop in my backpack. And I had something kind of like poking me in the hip. So I got to a stopping point, stopped, took it off, took a look at it. The carbon stay that attaches my hip belt to my backpack broke. So what does that mean? Well, that means I don't currently have a hip belt attached to my backpack. So that also means all the weight of the backpack is now sitting directly on my shoulders. My hip belt is currently attached, or just I attached it to the top of my backpack so I didn't lose it. And I'm gonna have to contact Zpacks and see how quickly they can get me a replacement. The terrible thing is, now I'm carrying all the weight on my shoulders. The good news is, it's still usable. So it's not like it makes it non-functioning whatsoever. It just makes it a little less comfortable than when I have my hip belt attached, load lifters, and it's pulling those shoulder straps up off of my shoulders. If it's not one thing, it's another right now. That's all right. We're gonna get through this. We're heading up into camp. I do have a surprise for you when we get to camp, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. Oh, beautiful view over there. Yeah. So we're less than 3 miles out from camp. We're gonna be there in about an hour, and I'll show you guys the surprise. And it's just one of those days. All right, get these miles in. All right, we made it to the top of Iron Mountain. We have 360-degree views through the trees. Not a clear view, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. Campsite is 1 mile away. So we're gonna head down this hill, get this last mile in, and then climb into my tent in this day. All right, we'll see you there. All right, we made it to camp. 15.3 miles. Didn't feel good today, but we got it done anyway. Told you guys I had a surprise when we got to camp. Guess who's back?
Hi.
Tyler's back.
Hi.
Stay down, down, no sir.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Not feeling it. Not feeling it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, just wanted to wrap things up for today. We met up with Tyler. We're going to try to do 18 miles tomorrow. Hopefully I feel better in the morning, but we got the miles in today. It took me longer because of how I'm feeling, but took some ibuprofen now in the tent, and we're relaxing after eating. So we're going to call this one a night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.